This is my 1979 Ford Bronco Ranger XLT in pastel sand with the freewheeling chromatic graphics package. It has an 8-cylinder 351, a 4-inch suspension lift with 35-inch tires, and a custom 2-tone maroon and tan interior. It drives like shit, there's no AC, it barely stops, and if I drive it for more than 30 minutes, the fumes from the exhaust start to make me a little lightheaded. So why do I have it? Because it's fucking awesome. And if you're wondering what it has to do with today's video, besides the blatant attempt to get you to watch past the first 1 minute, and time. Besides that, this Bronco, just like everything else, is marketing. Specifically, it's part of the marketing strategy for this brand, Texas Hill Country Provisions. Hi, I'm sweating out here today in Austin, Texas at the headquarters of a brand I work with called Texas Hill Country Provisions. And today I want to talk about how a brand can use marketing to promote their brand and sell their products without ever even talking about their products. And if you're new here, my name is Mike. I'm a 20-year marketing veteran and the current CMO at Still Austin Whiskey Company here in Austin. And on this channel, I like to talk about how I think everything is marketing. So I think it's pretty obvious how the Bronco fits into this marketing strategy. You get a cool car, you put a couple of stickers on it, maybe a custom license plate. You drive it around and boom, it's an instant conversation starter and a great way to introduce people to the brand. The guys at THC here not only use the Bronco as an attention grabber at trade shows, but pretty much whenever I drive it around, people are stopping me, asking me questions. I've actually been followed home a couple of times by people asking questions. Don't do that, that's weird. But the Bronco is really just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Texas Hill Country Provisions marketing strategy. My friends here have come up with this amazing strategy that builds a ton of brand awareness and also provides a huge platform for up-and-coming Texas musicians to showcase their music to new fans. Oh, and did I mention that Texas Hill Country Provisions does all of this without even talking about their products? That's why I think this might be the perfect content strategy. Let's go! In marketing, when you give something away of value for free while hoping to eventually gain a customer, that's called content marketing. And over the last decade or so, one of the most popular forms of content marketing has been with video. Some brands like Yeti Coolers create big-budget short films like their successful series that started in the mid-2010s called Yeti Presents. These long-form videos are more like mini documentaries than they are commercials, and Red Bull's been doing this forever with all their insane competitions and stunts. Remember when this guy parachuted from space? And I think there's two main components that go into a successful content marketing strategy. Number one, you have to give something away of value, and that can be entertainment or education or a tool or even a PDF download. It just has to be something of enough value that someone is willing to give their time or even their email address in exchange for. And number two, consumers can't feel like the content that they're getting is overtly trying to sell them something. Besides maybe a simple logo placement at the beginning of those Yeti films, they barely even show their products, let alone talk about them. And the same pretty much goes for Red Bull. And that's what's so great about content marketing. It's that when it's done well, it really connects with us on a deeper level. Subconsciously, we build these connections to the brands and think of them more favorably because to us, they just gave us something for free. And this is a pretty sharp contrast to the more traditional types of advertising like TV commercials or banner ads because they're interrupting the thing that you actually tuned in to see. When content marketing's done right, the show is the ad.
My name's Buck Fuffalo, just like it sounds. The song's called She Don't Love Me Like That.
But as our attention spans have gotten shorter, TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts have taken over. And with this explosion of short-form content, big budget productions with long lead times don't really make a lot of sense for small brands anymore. Think about it. Why would a brand spend tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of hours of time and resources to develop this single beautiful video just for a handful of views when it's probably going to disappear into obscurity within a couple of days anyway? Especially considering that the stuff that's getting the most attention these days are simple iPhone videos with lip sync challenges and memes. And to make things even more difficult, social media algorithms want more and more content, and in order for brands to stay relevant, they have to keep feeding the beast. This can be a pretty tall order for any small business to always be creating this never-ending stream of content, especially when they got a business to run. So how then can a small brand with limited resources hope to compete with the literal millions of videos dominating our social feeds every day? Well, one solution is to just pay for it, and that's what most brands do. And that's also why Facebook and Instagram's parent company Meta generated $131 billion in ad revenue in 2023. So brands just need to figure out how to make tons of cheap, short-form content that can quickly be deployed to hope to compete with the millions of other creators out there. And they have to do this every single day. Easier said than done. So this is Texas Hill Country Provisions. It's a brand that a couple of my good friends started during COVID as sort of a love letter to Texas. They make these amazing quality Texas-inspired hats and t-shirts that over the last 4 years or so have been a huge hit for native Texans and visitors alike. Recently, THC Provisions launched a sub-brand called Chill Country Cannabis, which makes some of the highest quality THC gummies you can get. And if you think real hard about it, I bet you could figure out how with a name like THC, cannabis was kind of the plan all along. Anyway, thanks to Congress passing the federal Farm Bill in 2018, these THC gummies are actually legal to produce and sell here in Texas, but social media companies have been very strict about regulating what you can and can't say about cannabis on their platforms, and they have an outright ban on any cannabis brands spending money to advertise their products. But in the world where social media is kind of the dominant platform for our attention, it's kind of a necessity for a brand to have a strong social media presence. This is my friend and founder of THC Provisions, Madison Wickham. Madison is the designer, entrepreneur, and huge fan of all things Texas. When Madison decided to start Chill Country Cannabis, he knew he'd have to figure out a way to generate awareness in spite of these limitations. What really kicked things into high gear has been this content strategy called Chill Country Sessions. Earlier this year, Madison started exchanging DMs with a few musicians that were fans of the THC brand and happened to be in town playing shows for South by Southwest. He invited them here to HQ, and the conversation just sort of naturally evolved into something like, "Hey, this is a great place to record some music." A few well-placed lights and microphones later, Chill Country Sessions was born. Now only 3 months into this thing, Chill Country Sessions has recorded over 100 artists here at HQ, and the videos of these performances have amassed hundreds of thousands of views, creating a ton of awareness for the Chill Country brand while also providing real entertainment value for Texas music fans. So it's pretty obvious how THC, Chill Country Cannabis, and music fans are benefiting from this strategy. But the best part of this whole thing is the value that THC is creating for the musicians themselves. All right, Madison, tell me about Chill Country Sessions.
So Chill Country Sessions is essentially a modern day press stop where we invite artists from all over Texas come by our studio here in South Austin and play a song or two, and we chop it up and put it out on social media. I mean, we had a suspicion that there were a lot of artists out there that could benefit from just some simple, high quality recordings of their music, and we had no idea how big of a need there actually was for that. It's been awesome, and we've been getting all sorts of great follow-ups from artists telling us they're booking gigs because of these videos and leading to all sorts of opportunities.
How did the music thing come into the fold?
I grew up here. My dad's a musician. I've been surrounded by the Texas music scene and the Austin music scene specifically my entire life. I love Texas and I love Texas music, and we've been noodling on a way to align with the Texas music scene the entire way through for the last 4 years. This strategy in particular kind of like unlocked not only like the brand strategy, but really the mission of the company, which is now to support artists across Texas.
So this is an old train station from Dumas, Texas, and back here is the cargo warehouse where the trains would load and unload cargo back in 1930. And our landlord moved this whole building here in the 80s. He said he bought the whole thing for $75. So we were majorly underutilizing this space, and it was basically just overflow storage until we had the idea to build out a recording studio. And so this is where artists come in, they sit down, bang out a couple songs. So we got a sign made, got a couple microphones, a recording console. It's a laptop, an iPad with studio monitors, then a couple cameras, and that's it. We're doing 3 recordings a day. We're doing that 2 days a week, so we're recording a minimum of 6 artists a week. It's this holy grail of content strategy where you get the quality and the quantity. It takes maybe an hour to record a couple songs and then another 20 minutes to chop it up and post it on social. We're now generating hundreds of thousands of brand impressions for the Chill Country brand, and it's all linking back to our Instagram accounts, and people can get to our websites and figure out the products we make. But the way that I think about it in business is a good product's table stakes, and then everything else is what that product means. We've tapped into this really amazing brand strategy that is rapidly aligning us with amazing musicians, and they are leaving with our hats and tees, and then oftentimes we're seeing them wear them on stage, and this is all without being transactional. You know, we're providing value to the artists from a promotional standpoint. We're providing value to our followers from an entertainment standpoint, and every single time somebody sees one of these videos, they are watching an amazing Texas artist that they probably haven't heard of wrapped in the Chill Country and Texas Hill Country Provisions brands.
So THC Provisions has created a strategy where literally everyone wins. The brand, the artists, and Texas music fans. And the basic structure of the Chill Country formula is actually not that different than the one that Yeti or Red Bull have done for years. The content's super engaging, the brand isn't overtly talking about their products, and they're showcasing interesting and talented people. But the whole thing is just hyper-focused on Texas musicians and adapted for today's short attention spans. So for any small business owners or marketers out there that might be watching, if you think it's just too difficult to make really good, consistent quality content, or that you're limited by budget or resources or even legality, I don't know, maybe you just need to eat a gummy, put on some music, and see what you come up with. Ugh. Anyway, if you want to learn more about THC Provisions or Chill Country Cannabis, go to thcprovisions.com or click the link in my description. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more content about how everything is marketed. Son of a bitch. It just needs to warm up.